Here we'll begin in just a review of the ready positions. Remember, having the fists midway on the rib cage, not too high or too low. See it from a 3/4 angle now, please. Remember, when using the hip position, just have your hands rest easy on your hips. In both the hip and ready position, make sure that your elbows are not flared outward and your shoulders are not scrunched, nor do you want your fists in front of your body as I just demonstrated. Here again is the palm out. If you notice, my palm aligns right at the level of my face in a lot of ways, making a nice clean line back to the shoulder with my fingertips just under the bridge of the nose. Again, casting your eyes out over the horizon, looking out far and not super near. Hands out, pull back. Hands out, pull back. Kind of like you're rowing a boat. Now let's look at 4 basic stances. The first of which is probably the primary of many martial arts, the horse stance. Begin by slightly bending your legs and stepping 1 foot to the side, keeping your head level as you shift your whole body to equal footing. From the side view now, again, slight bend in the knees, move the leg, shift, and then back, and then up. Shift. If you notice, my head stays as level as possible. That is very important for the development of strength in the legs and for your center. Your center being the area of your abdomen that will initiate the majority of your movement. Next is the bow stance. Again, same position, starting, bending, and then stepping wide out with somewhat of a dropping feeling into the front, and then pulling the back leg up into the stump or squatted looking position. 3/4 here, stepping out, pulling up. I always imagine that I am an ox pulling something very heavy. So I imagine I have a yoke on my shoulders to keep my body level, my head straight, and my center strong. Back leg pull up, once solidly landing, then stand. Out, steady, up, stand. The next stance we'll look at is empty stance, or as it is also known, cat stance. This stance, you want to bend the leg slightly and extend one leg out. The leg that goes out in front has no weight on it, so all of your weight is on the back leg, hence empty. So the front leg is empty of weight, but not empty of potential. As we'll see in later lessons, we can go from this stance into a kick or into the stance that we'll look at next, the crane stance. The crane stance begins pretty much like the empty stance, except you want to have this rising up feeling and bring your knee up as close to your torso as possible, like a standing crane. This stance is also known as golden rooster. You want to feel energy rising up through the back along your spine, as if when you're raising that leg, you're going to enter and fall into the bow stance, yet you're staying on balance on that singular leg. Engaging your core, keeping strong. Now let's add the arms. Pulling back, fist ready position, horse stance. Shooting out palm, palm, pull back, reset. Not so difficult actually. Keep your arm movements crisp. 1, 2, together. Now looking at the bow stance. Again, pulling back, fist ready, falling into that leg, punch, palm, second palm, pull up, reset. Very crisp. 1, 2, step, punch, palm, palm, pull up. Feel as if your palms are pulling your center and pulling your whole body to them. So you can have a type of space hold in your movements. Here, space hold, pull up, boom, bah, up. Excellent. Keep the lines strong and your form and shape clear. Simplicity is best. Try not to overthink the moves, just let them happen. Pull forward, punch, palm, palm, up, reset. You can see that a lot of power is generated from the hip or the lower center. Now the empty stance, again, pulling back, fist ready, foot out, palm, opposite arm than the leg that's out. That's it. And then adding a punch at the end. So this is a little bit of a reversal from the bow stance where you started with the punch. Here you're ending with it. Here, palm 1, palm 2. Pull back, punch, repost. Reset. And again. 1, 2, down, out, palm, palm, pull back, punch, and there you go. Take a look at it again. Other side. You can see the geometry in these stances. It's important for you to understand that, and you'll discover that on your own through practice. Now onto the crane stance. Pretty much starting like the empty stance. Say if you do everything up on one leg. If you take careful notice, you'll see that my fist at the end and the top of my head make a decent triangle to my supporting leg. Top of the head, fist, supporting leg. The line of my raised leg accents the angle of that triangle. One, two, pull back, palm, reset. And again. You can see when you get used to the empty stance that the motion of bending the legs and kind of, I don't know, sneaking into that foot position with no weight on the front foot happens at once. That's a natural kind of progression of practicing this stance. At first, the stances will feel very blocky. Over time, they'll become smooth. Do not be afraid of repetition, and do not be afraid of the basics. Now, this is exactly what the title says. I just recorded this in one take to test my vocabulary on what I taught you. Take a look. This is completely unstructured. I did this in the spur of the moment. When you do exercises like this, it makes you understand what you know and what you rely on, and also the vocabulary and grammar of your technique, you could say. How well you speak with it. In martial arts, we have forms. Those forms are a language that we learn. Those were improvised. I suggest you try it too.